I got a celebration. I got a reason to be happy today. A lot of reasons. But Matt Canada's been fired out of Pittsburgh. I am overjoyed today. I am as happy a Steelers fan as there is right now. Matt Canada has finally, thank you, merciful God, been fired as the offensive coordinator by the Steelers. Pittsburgh offensively ranked bottom 10 in virtually every category, whether it's points, yards, rushing, passing. It's just been a bad season offensively, just like it's been really since this man took over this offensive football team. Kenny Pickett, though, has struggled. Kenny only 5 touchdown passes on the season. I saw this stat, since October 1st, I think it was, he has 2 touchdown passes. That's as many as Anthony Richardson, who has been out for the last month and a half. So not a great offensive stretch for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I'll go and put this on my shoulders, this terrible towel, because I'm a very happy Steelers fan today with this firing. Listen, real quick, just before you guys go, I think I should just go ahead and say this. Kenny Pickett, I have some faith in you. I have some belief in you. Okay, but the excuses are out the window now. The albatross around your neck is gone. What you going to do about it? We shall see. But I'll start with you, Dylan. Who do you think is more responsible for the Steelers' offensive woes? Is it the now former offensive coordinator Matt Canada, or is it the quarterback Kenny Pickett?
This one's tough because I'm not a fan of Kenny Pickett, but it definitely has to be Matt Canada. The Steelers' offense has been uninspiring since he's been offense coordinator, and it's honestly quite impressive how competitive the Steelers are despite their offensive woes since he has been the coordinator. I think that shows more to how great of a coach Mike Tomlin is and how he's able to right the ship despite their offensive woes. And obviously defensively, Steelers are very good too, and that's why they're good. But I think one of my favorite clips I've seen on the internet recently was Matt Canada giving Mike Tomlin a hug, and Chris Boswell saying, "Oh, it's not because of you," like as he's walking into the locker room. See, if the kicker is talking trash about you as an offense coordinator, that's when you know that everybody was out on Matt Canada.
Yeah, no question. I saw that video today. I can't believe I don't know if that was already out there before the firing. It was just like shocking, just completely.
That's an old clip, I think. I think that was an older clip too. It wasn't even like a recent one.
Yeah, like it's and again, it was kind of a locker room issue. We haven't heard any, at least to this point, any issues with Kenny Pickett's leadership or anything like that. But there were rumblings. Najee Harris had an interesting quote after the game on Sunday against Cleveland that there's some things going on in the locker that you guys don't know about. So I don't know if that's relating to Matt Canada or whatever the case may be. But Dylan, I'm going to give you a great take. Obviously, by the way, second round rules, everything gets doubled. 400 for a great take, 200 for a good take, 100 rather for an okay take, 0 for bad. Going to give you a great take here, Dylan. I do think that there is some things lying beneath the surface of Pittsburgh that we probably don't know about. That in the next few weeks, we're probably going to get to find out, at least from a production standpoint. So great take by you, Dylan. To you, John Rivera, do you think the Steelers' offensive woes has more to do with the quarterback or the now former offensive coordinator?
I think you kind of answered this right before you kicked it to us. I think he got obviously 60% of the blame, but the other 40 can be passed around. Like you said, Pickett, there's no excuses for him now to see what he got. You know what I mean? Like you said, other guys got more touchdowns than him and stuff like that. In the offense, which is pretty good. They got 2, good running backs, not great. They got Pickens over there. You know what I mean? They got some talent, as I can say. You know what I mean? Pittsburgh always has talent. So it's definitely 60% his fault. But now we're gonna see what Pickett got. Pickens definitely need to change his attitude adjustment, because you can't be your team win the game and you're fussing on the sidelines about a catch or two. You know what I mean? So yeah, but I'll put it more on the OC now. You know what I mean? I would say, because everybody's been calling out for him, but it's definitely Pickens' time to see what he's going to do. I don't believe he's the future quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers, but we will see. So I'll put most of the blame on the OC, but it's definitely much to share around. Even like I say, even Najee Harris hasn't really lived up to the hype. You know what I mean? For sure. But yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. But definitely the OC. If you want to ask who got the most blame, definitely the OC.
Yeah, and as cautiously optimistic, and I know that some other Steelers fans are more pessimistic on Kenny. I completely understand that. We haven't seen any pop from him as we've seen from some other young quarterbacks. Think about what C.J. Stroud's doing in Houston right now. We haven't seen anything close to that from Pickett, but it is hard in the players' defense and Kenny and everybody's defense. It is hard to execute. When you're put in an offensive system that isn't terribly creative, it's very predictable, not something that's difficult for other defensive coordinators to game plan for. So John Rivera, that's back-to-back great takes by you, my man. John Rivera Rivera in first place. Once again, a great take here in this segment. I'll move on now to the Ravens fan, and let me pose the question like this, Mr. Runner-Up. Let me pose it like this, okay? Who would you have rather seen the Pittsburgh Steelers move on from? Matt Canada or Kenny Pickett? Evan?
As a Ravens fan, I would love to see them. I would love to see y'all move on from Kenny Pickett. Because I feel like Matt Canada is the real problem. But to answer the right question, Matt Canada was the problem. It was clearly Evans Day that he was seriously the problem. Number one, you can't have two good running backs like John and Dylan said, that you can't have two good running backs and you still can't produce. Now, Warren was a little bit more productive than Najee Harris, but I felt like that Matt Canada didn't run to Najee Harris' strengths. Stretch plays is not Najee Harris' strength. If you want to keep on having your quarterback stretch it all the way down 5 yards down to the left tackle, it's not his strength. By then, like you said, people was already calling his plays. Predictability. That's what killed. I hate to keep bringing my guys up. That's what killed the Ravens. Everybody knew Greg Roman's offense. So now everybody understood what Matt Canada was trying to do. And then secondly, when you have your second-year quarterback, it's time to open up that playbook a little bit more. You can't keep simplifying things for Kenny Pickett. So that's a bad coaching spot for you not challenging your so-called franchise quarterback. You keep on putting the training wheels on, you would never see the growth of your quarterback. So you can't really blame Kenny Pickett because just like how Greg Roman was holding Lamar back, I feel like Matt Canada was holding your offense back just a little bit. Now, like y'all alluded to, Kenny Pickett has nowhere to hide now. Him and his small hands have to get out there and actually start slinging the ball because you have two good wide receivers in my eyes. And Pickens and Deontay Johnson, other than Deontay Johnson is always a little bit injury prone, but when he's there on the offense, he's dynamic. Then y'all have these two up and coming tight ends on your roster. You need to start utilizing these tight ends because one of y'all tight ends was like 6'8", down there 300 some odd pounds.
Yep.
So it's like, why you're not using your weapons? So I really feel like Matt Canada was holding the Steelers back. I hate that now that the Steelers had let Matt Canada go because now y'all have no reason of what's holding y'all back now. I feel like once y'all find your identity again, it's going to be kind of hard to defend Pittsburgh because, like they said, y'all have a strong defense. All thing that strong defense needs is when they create opportunities for the offense have to start putting up points. So now the clock is ticking on Kenny Pickett now.
For sure. I knew we can get through the segment without a shot at Kenny Pickett or anybody in the small hands. But I'm going to let this slide. I'm going to include that in your take. I'm going to be nice today. But I do think you bring up great points. Like you see what the jump Lamar Jackson has made with an offensive coordinator who's allowed him to play to his strengths. And, Greg Roman did at times feel like he kind of refused to take the training wheels off Lamar's bike, so to speak. And hopefully this new OC, this new play caller will do that with Kenny Pickett. So you make some great points. So I'm going to give you as well a great take. Great takes by everybody across the board. I agree with every single one of you about Matt Canada being the problem. Like you said, Devin, lack of creativity. We got some comments here. We got Max7373. He says, good evening, gents. And he says, #Ravens Nation. So I could already tell, like there's a connection. There's some Afterbank connection there here on the 8 o'clock spots. Trying to
Let's go, OG.
Yeah. And Max says, I blame Omar Epps. I mean, Mike Tomlin, because he's a head coach. The resemblance is uncanny. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you. But, what's funny about, Mike Tomlin, I saw his press conference today. And he was asked something along the lines of, what's the goal through this firing? He said to score more points. So it's like, okay, like I can get down with that. Any fan can get down with that. There's no question about it. Our guy, AJ Alexander Johnson, who's been on the 8 o'clock spot, he says, what's up, fellas? Shout out